New reaction today from Elon Musk about his tenure in the Trump administration after the president gave him a formal send-off Friday from his role as a special government employee. In an interview with CBS, he talked about attacks on Doge.
It's a bit unfair because, Doge became the whooping boy for everything. So if there was some cut, real or imagined, everyone would blame Doge. I've had people think that, somehow Doge is going to stop them from getting their Social Security check, which is completely untrue. But my frank opinion of the government is that, the government is just like the DMV that got big, okay? So when you say, let's have the government do something, you should think, do you want the DMV to do it?
Joining me now is California Congressman Robert Garcia. He's on the Oversight, Transportation and Infrastructure, as well as Homeland Security committees, and a good friend to us. I'm curious your reaction there, because it seemed like Elon Musk, he's kind of like, oh, man, don't hit on Doge.
Yeah, easy for him to say. This is the richest person on the planet, spent more money than anybody else to elect Donald Trump and Republicans in Congress. He, along with Donald Trump, spent months now slashing federal agencies, destroying programs, destroying our reputation around the world, causing massive pain and heartache to our federal employees and people that are dependent on, of course, services from us. And now he just wants to walk away like nothing happened. At the same time, he's gained access to personal information. He's impacted investigations against his companies, and he continues to stand next to Donald Trump. So this idea that somehow he's stepping away or stepping back, I don't think anybody should believe that for a minute. Clearly, he understands he's damaged his own brands like Tesla and others. Clearly, that's been the case. But at the same time, he's hurt our government and the American public, and he must be held accountable for that.
So, look, he wasn't even close to hitting his target of slashing, what was it, $2 trillion, I think he said, in federal spending at the outset. Doge cut about $150 billion. Experts believe, in fact, the real number is even lower. The Partnership for Public Service estimates that Doge's layoffs of federal workers will cost $135 billion this year. So you don't think the upheaval is going to cease with his departure, right?
No, I don't. First, Donald Trump runs a chaotic White House anyways, but let's be clear. What Donald Trump and Elon Musk have done through Doge, and the thing that's hurt the agencies and our government the most, is laying off talented people across our government and our agencies. Folks that essentially we've lost basically decades and decades of work, of just their intellect, their commitment to the community, their commitment to the country. That is now gone. We just can't replace people overnight. You can't just bring in someone with that level of experience into the federal government. And so we have really lost a critical part of our government workforce. They wanted to damage the government, and they've done that. But what's really important is Elon Musk walks away with God knows what private information of the American public's. He has to be held accountable for what he has done. He must testify in front of Congress. We must be able to ask questions about his companies. Why are all the investigations across multiple agencies against his companies now dropped? What insider information does he have that could benefit his companies in federal contracts in the future? These are all real questions that must be asked. And so we shouldn't take his word for it when he says he's going to step away from government.
And maybe they can be asked, that is, if the Democrats take over the House in the midterms next year. But let's talk about this week with Jamie Raskin, of course, the top Dem on the House Judiciary Committee, who opened an investigation into the private dinner, calling for it, into the private dinner that the president held for the 220 top holders of the Trump meme coin. Ethics experts, as you know, they call Trump's crypto ventures the starkest example to date of seeking to profit off the presidency. Do you support these investigations, even though congressional Democrats lack the authority to hold the president accountable in any meaningful way?
Completely support these investigations. Jamie Raskin is the right person to help lead those. And let's be really clear. This meme coin scandal is the most corrupt thing a president has done, in the modern era. Essentially, he's created a piggy bank, essentially an opportunity for people across the world, who we don't know, who are basically dumping in money for his own personal use. People are just putting in all of this wealth essentially for the Trump family with no types of guardrails for us, no type of transparency for the American public. And when you talk about the meme coin, when you talk about all of these foreign real estate deals with the Trump company across the world, while he's doing American business and diplomacy with these companies. While you talk about the foreign plane, $400 million plane that he's asking for. This is just this administration. He hasn't even been held accountable for the corruption the first time. Jared Kushner walking away with a $2 billion foreign investment fund for doing absolutely nothing. And so all of these issues continue to pile up, and the Trump family must be held accountable for this major corruption.
A new report in Wired reveals that the administration has collected DNA samples of over 133,000 migrant children and teenagers and then uploaded their genetic data into a national criminal database used by state and federal law enforcement. So the DOJ argues that DNA collection at the border provides an assessment of the danger a migrant potentially poses to the public and will help solve future crimes they may commit. Here's the Homeland Security Director today.
We are focusing on dangerous criminals. We are going out there and ensuring that people that repeatedly break our laws are being held accountable. And I would say and remind everybody that Congress directs what our laws are. They can change our programs. They can raise visa programs and guest worker programs. They can make it easier for us. We have suggestions, and I'm using all the authority that I have to meet our workforce needs. But also, we need to make sure that our communities are safer again.
Can you give me a quick sense of what you make of Noem saying the administration's focusing on deportations and dangerous criminals?
I mean, Kristi Noem is clearly a liar. What she's doing is she is eliminating due process for folks in this country, for U.S. citizens. We've had U.S. citizen children deported without due process. We have people that are coming to this country with an asylum appointment that are being denied due process. Due process is a cornerstone of our Constitution and our country. And Kristi Noem has actually no interest in a safe legal immigration system in this country. She wants to deport whoever she can find, even if they're U.S. citizens in some cases, and she decides who she deems as a criminal or who has broken the law, not the courts. And that is a dangerous moment to be in. This country has always been one of laws where judges, juries, courtrooms decide when someone has committed a crime, when someone can actually go through the immigration process. And now we have Kristi Noem making up her own rules as she goes. Incredibly concerning to see these databases being grown, and particularly when you're looking at children. And I tell people that we're all next. U.S. citizens are next. They're going to continue to do this, and then they're going to want to collect information from U.S. citizens. And U.S. citizens are already being deported, being snatched up. This is incredibly concerning. Everybody should oppose what Kristi Noem is trying to do.
Okay. Congressman Robert Garcia, we'll see you again soon. Thank you much.